Right, so in this question we've been asked to given the function g of x, and we've been asked to find the range. The easiest way to find the range is to sketch the graph. Now it may not look like it, but this is actually a reciprocal function. And the way we can see that is if we do the long division. So it's 6x being divided by 2x plus 3. 2x goes into 6x 3 times. 3 times 2x is 6x. 3 times 3 is plus 9. And we subtract this and we get minus 9 as the remainder. So that means that we can write the function as 3 minus 9 over 2x plus 3. Now let's think about the transformations happening to this graph. So there's a 3 and a 9. These are vertical transformations, and we've got the 2 and the plus 3 over here, which are horizontal transformations. So if we think about it, it's got minus, right? So it's minus 9 over 2x plus 3. So it means we're going to be looking at the negative reciprocal graph, which looks like that. Let's think about the horizontals for a second. We know that x is greater than 0, so we know the domain is being given. So the horizontals is going to shift the graph to the left by 3 and then divide all the y coordinates by, divide all the x coordinates by 2. So the graph is now going to look like that, where this is at minus 3 over 2. Okay. Then let's think about the vertical transformations. So it's been times by 9, which we know makes minimal difference to the graph, and then it's been shifted up by 3. And so the graph ends up looking something like this. So this asymptote is at minus 3 over 2, and this asymptote, because it's been shifted up, is going to be at 3. So what happens to the graph between from when x is greater than 0? Well, we can see it's between 0 and 3. So the range of this function is going to be between 0 and 3. So with range questions, it's quite important that we have a look at the domain. Generally, the domain is given to you. So we're only interested in the function in that domain. Okay, let's look at part B now. So part B says find G inverse. So we know the method for finding G inverse is we let y equal G of x. And then we rearrange to make x the subject. You might have swapped the x's and y's around first. That's okay, it doesn't matter which order you do it in. So I'm going to make x the subject first. So 3y equals 6x. Let's take all the x's to one side. So I'm going to take all the x's to the right hand side, why not? And factorize the x out. And so I get x is equal to 3y over 6 minus 2y. And this is where I do my x and y swap, but it doesn't matter which order, as I say, which order you did it in. So y is equal to 3x over 6 minus 2x. And finally we can write that as G inverse. You've got to remember, right? The question also asks to state its domain. The domain of G inverse is going to be the same as the range of the original function. So that was between 0 and 3. Whatever answer you got in the range, just write that down for the domain. So if necessary, make sure you give an answer in part A so you can still pick up marks in part B. So part C now. It said find the function g of x, writing your answer as a single fraction in its simplest form. So g of x, we had 6x over 2x plus 3, which was g of x. Now I'm going to take g of x and put it back inside g of x. So wherever there's an x, you're going to put 6x over 2x plus 3. So it's going to be 6 lots of this over two lots of 6x over 2x plus 3 plus 3. Now we got to simplify this. Okay, so it looks a bit ugly right now, but don't worry, we'll get there. All right, so let's look at the numerator. The numerator is going to be 36x, so it's 6 over 1. So we'll multiply fractions, multiply the tops, multiply the bottoms. Okay, I'm going to write it as a divide by. Okay, let's just clean up the bottom a little bit. So again, fractions being multiplied, so we're going to have 12x over 2x plus 3 plus 3. I'm going to put that in bracket because it's not just divided by the first bit, it's divided by the whole thing. So we're going to clean that bracket up now. So it's 36x over 2x plus 3 still, divided by. I'm adding two things together. I'm adding two fractions essentially if I write 3 over 1. So I need a common denominator, which is going to be 2x plus 3. So it's 12x plus, and I'm going to times the second fraction by 2x plus 3. And finally, we can almost divide this now. So divided by, in the bracket, we're going to have 12x plus 3 times 2x, which is 6x, so 18x, plus 3 times 3, which is 9, over 2x plus 3. And when we divide fractions, we flip the second fraction and multiply. 2x plus 3 over 18x plus 9. Cross out the 2x plus 3's because they're in opposite diagonals, and so we get 36x over 18x plus 9. But it did say in its simplest form, and we noticed that all of these are divisible by 9. So if we divide the top by 9, we get 4x, divide the bottom, so we get 2x plus 1. And that's the end of that one.